A while ago, I posted a video detailing all of the best skill grind setups I had found for efficiently leveling all 21 skills in Oblivion. Since then, people have left a ton of comments on that video with lots of new ways to improve the grinding strategies for several skills, as well as alternative methods that require way less setup. This video will show the new and improved methods for farming several of the skills, compiling methods and ideas submitted by commenters on the first video along with new things I discovered as well. For skill farming methods for any skills that aren't covered in this video, refer to the original skill farming video. Thank you to everyone for all the comments. I try to read every comment that people post and reply to as many as I can. A huge thank you in advance to everyone whose ideas and strategies appear throughout this video. For setups that were found by commenters, I will show the screenshot of the comment at the start of each explanation. One final note before we get started, this guide is intended to showcase strategies that work in the most recent version of the vanilla game. No DLC, mods, or console commands are utilized in these methods. Whether or not these strategies work on console is unconfirmed as I only play on the PC version, although in most cases the console version should function the same. In the original skill grind video, I mentioned that for many of the tedious skills, such as athletics and marksman, that it was faster to just buy training for them. I figured for this video I should start by explaining some tips and glitches that can maximize the amount of training you can buy. The first tip is that you can actually buy master level training from any trainer by using spells. Normally, each trainer can only train you until you're at their level cap, which will either be 40, 70, or 100, depending on the level of trainer that they are. Master trainers that can train you up to level 100 in a skill require doing a quest for them to unlock their training, but you can avoid having to do this as long as you have access to the Arcane University to make a custom spell. You will need the Drain skill spell effect unlocked, so if you do not have that, you'll need to be level 25 in Destruction, and you can buy the Drain skill illusion spell from Solinus Vasinus in the Skingrad Mages Guild to unlock the effect. Once you have everything you need, make a custom spell that drains whatever skill you want to train for 100 points for 1 second on self. To use the spell, approach any trainer, in this case a novice trainer, and cast the Drain skill spell right before talking to them. The game now thinks you are level 0 in that skill, allowing you to purchase training from the novice trainer regardless of what level you're actually at. An additional benefit to doing this is that training will cost almost nothing since the cost scales with your skill level, costing only a total of 100 gold for 5 levels. One final note about this strategy is that you can actually use it to level up your skills beyond 100. Normally, master trainers can't offer training if you're level 100 or higher in a skill, but now that any trainer will think you're level 0 with the spell, you can buy training anyway. Keep in mind that you would need to double up your skill draining spell if you intend to raise a skill too far above level 100. For example, if you're level 150 in a skill and try to use a drain skill spell on a novice trainer, you will effectively be at level 50 since the spell only drains 100 points, which is above their threshold of levels they will train you at. The solution to this would be to make multiple drain skill spells that have a longer duration so that you can have multiple drain 100 skill point spells active at the same time. The only skills that are improved by going above 100 are acrobatics and athletics, so it's recommended that you only put extra training above 100 into these skills if you want to do this. The maximum value for skills is level 255, at which point the integer value overflows back to 0, allowing you to grind the skill again if you want. If you're in a situation where your character's major skills are already maxed out and you have no training left to put into tedious skills such as Mercantile or Marksman, there is a glitch that can allow you to buy significantly more training than you would normally be able to. The setup for this glitch is very simple. First, you'll need a save file where a character is in front of a bed and is currently able to level up, which is indicated by this symbol next to the compass. This save file can be any character, it doesn't even have to be the character you intend to level up. Next, sleep in the bed. As soon as the timer counts down by at least 1 hour, press escape to bring up the pause menu before your character finishes sleeping. Finally, load any other save file. The save file you select will be the character that receives a level up. The selected character will level up as soon as the file loads, regardless of if your character was even able to level up naturally. This allows you to increase your character's level for as long as you still have attributes available to increase. After you reach 100 in each attribute, the game no longer lets you level up. The side effect of this glitch is that your 5 levels of training will refresh every time you do this, allowing you to buy way more training than if you leveled your character normally. We tested this on stream multiple times and found that with our character build, we were able to get around level 150, but that was with minimizing the attributes gained per level as much as possible for the sake of the 100% speedrun. It is not recommended that you use this glitch too many times in a casual playthrough, since enemy difficulty will continue to scale up as you level up, while your character only marginally improves via the extra attributes. This results in enemies being extremely difficult to kill. The infinite level up glitch will be used to save a significant amount of time getting all of our skills to 100 during the upcoming third version of our Oblivion 100% completion speedrun, which we will perform live soon on our Twitch channel. Look out for our upcoming announcement video on the YouTube channel for when we'll be doing that if you would like to see this glitch utilized in an actual speedrun. Multiple improvements to the original farming method for light armor and heavy armor have been found that make this grind a lot faster and simpler now. Originally, we went into a cave to get attacked by 6 rats and took advantage of some game mechanics about how armor works to minimize the number of times we had to leave to repair the armor. The first major improvement is that I found a much easier location to get to that has roughly twice as many enemies. The Bruma barracks for some reason always has a large number of guards, especially at night around 2 AM. This amount of guards results in you taking way more hits than when you farm off the rats. The next improvement was originally found by Hate Fiend on our Discord server, and was mentioned by a few other people as well. Hate Fiend discovered that if you equip a shield in any weapon where the shield can be used with it, such as a dagger, you can actually sheath your weapon and shield but still gain XP for light or heavy armor when attacked, even if you aren't wearing any actual armor. The best part of this is that the shield never actually gets damaged, so you never have to stop farming to go repair anything. This simplifies the setup required for this farming strategy a lot, since you no longer even need armor with a lot of health or repair hammers that you have to stop to use occasionally. For this new strategy, all you need is a shield that is either light or heavy armor depending on the skill you're leveling, a dagger, some healing potions, and scrolls for duping. Dupe and hotkey a lot of health potions, then enter the Bruma barracks around 2 AM. To learn how to dupe, see the section about it in the previous skill grind video. Equip the shield and dagger, then attack a guard. Resist arrest, sheath your dagger, and make sure the difficulty is set to the easiest setting for the best results. Let the guards attack you, and try to stay in a location where you can be surrounded by the most guards at the same time. Run into any guards that are using bows so they switch to their dagger and attack faster. Make sure you're not sitting in a chair, as for whatever reason this will prevent you from gaining the XP. Depending on your character level, sometimes guards can knock you out or paralyze you, so make sure you're drinking your hotkeyed health potions often to avoid being killed. Even if you get knocked out, that seems to make the guards attack even more often. Eventually, guards will break their swords and switch to either fists or their bows, at which point guards will now start dying. The reason for this is that the archers will accidentally be hitting the guards, which over time will kill all of them. If you want to avoid this, you can optionally use a healing spell with an area of effect to keep them alive longer, or use a disintegrate weapon spell to destroy their bows. An alternative that does not require making spells is to switch to the barracks of another city. Leeuwin seems to have the second most guards around 1 AM, which is still more enemies than in the original rat strategy. When you're done farming, simply yield to a guard and pay the gold fine, which should only be 40 gold for assault. For reference of how long this takes, on stream we timed out how long this setup took with light armor, which on that character build takes the maximum amount of 6,812 hits, and the entire process took about 40 minutes total. The only downside to this new setup is that you can't train your block skill simultaneously, so if you want to get your block skill up at the same time, refer to the original video's method to see how to do that. By not blocking or having a weapon drawn, however, the guards seem to attack the player faster with this new setup since they're not hesitating from your blocking. To be extra efficient, you can also cast magic farming spells while you do this part as well. The setup for farming combat skills has been simplified and made more convenient. In the original strategy, we essentially used Shadowmere as a punching bag to farm hits without being attacked back, and waited 1 hour to reset her health whenever she got close to dying. We played on the hardest difficulty to increase her health and used the weakest weapon that had the fastest attack speed for each skill type that we farmed. We also duped repair hammers to fix the weapon whenever it broke and made sure to hold block while attacking to speed up the attack animation. The new strategy was suggested by several people, with Antkid being the first to point it out. This strategy only works if you have not completed the Periite quest yet, but is the easiest strategy that requires the least upkeep. Periite's Shrine, which is located here on the map, has several NPCs that are frozen and have unlimited health, making them ideal for farming hits off of. The best NPC to target is Irtius, who can easily be pushed between 2 rocks so that he never moves. The The fastest weapon of each skill type is the dagger to farm blade and the war axe for blunt, with the exception of the elven war axe, which for some reason attacks slower. For marksman, you can use any bow and any arrows since they all attack at the same speed, although I highly recommend only buying training for marksman since it takes so long to level up compared to any other skill. The highest tier of these weapons that you can currently get will work the best since they won't need to be repaired as often. Make sure to hold block while attacking with any weapon or your fists to speed up the attack animation. Dupe and use repair hammers when your weapon breaks. To learn how to dupe, see the section about the dupe glitch in the original skill grind video. A big improvement to this strategy is that you can do it on any difficulty and you never have to wait to heal the NPC. This means that you don't need the weakest weapon either. You now want the one that has not only the fastest attack speed, but also the most health, which reduces the amount of times you'll need to stop to repair the weapon. The strategy with Shadowmere also caused issues since she would move around a lot, which isn't a problem with Irtius being stuck between the rocks. As long as you have scrolls to dupe repair hammers when you get low, this is all you'll need to do to farm all 4 combat skills. If your character has already completed the Periite quest and is unable to use Irtius to farm hits off of, a small adjustment to the original strategy is that you can use any of the horses you can purchase from stables so that you don't have to play through the Dark Brotherhood first. The white horse from the stable outside of Anvil has 400 health versus Shadowmere's 500 health, making the white horse almost as effective while taking significantly less time to acquire. Armorer had 2 methods in the original skill grind video. The first method was getting up to level 75, and the second method was for getting from 75 to 100. The second method is the one that we have improved. Originally, we used the broken Ayleid Crown of Lindai, which required getting all 10 Ayleid statues and doing all 3 of Umbacano's quests related to them. The reason we wanted that crown is because at 75 Armorer, the game lets us repair it up to 125% health infinitely. Thankfully, there is now a way to get the same type of effect without needing to do a ton of quests. For the new method, you'll need to be level 75 Armorer. Refer to the original video for the farming strategy for getting up to level 75. You'll also need a cuirass with the most health that you can find at your current level, which will always be the heavy armor cuirass of the highest tier. Optimally, the Daedric cuirass has the most health. Additionally, you'll need a different armor piece that is damaged below 100% health for a later exploit. You'll also need access to the Arcane University to make a Drain skill spell. If you don't already have the Drain skill spell effect, you can get it from Salinas Vasinus in the Skingrad Mages Guild by buying the Drain skill illusion spell and having at least level 25 Destruction. Make a spell that drains armor 100 points for 1 second on self. The next step is to find someone who repairs armor. I used Varnado at the best defense in the Imperial City Market District. Once you're standing within talking distance of the merchant, you'll need to dupe the cuirass approximately 600 times if you're using the Daedric cuirass using scrolls, and more times if you're using a weaker armor piece. See the section about the dupe glitch in the original skill grind video to learn how to dupe. Keep in mind that you can only dupe a piece of armor if it has never been damaged or repaired, so if you can't dupe your cuirass, that would be why, and you'll need to find a new one. Once you have all the cuirasses in your inventory in a single stack, dupe a ton of repair hammers. Finally, cast the Drain Armorer spell and use the repair hammers once the spell effect activates. You will now repair the cuirasses as slowly as possible and be able to spam click the stack just like we were able to with the broken Ayleid Crown of Lindai. Spam click until you're level 100 Armorer and make sure not to repair the other broken piece of armor that you have. We tested this on stream and it took a little over 9 minutes to get from level 75 to level 100. The final step is to fix your inventory. When you do this glitch, it separates the cuirasses into stacks of 2, which can cause glitches in your inventory due to how many inventory slots that you have. To fix this, simply talk to Varnado and go to the repair option. Select the Repair All button and you will find all of your cuirasses were merged into a single stack again that you can now safely drop. Note that this only works if you remembered to have an item that was damaged, otherwise the Repair All button will not appear. An added bonus is that the cuirasses are all reduced to 100% health, so if you initially used a smaller stack of armor, you could now reuse the stack to keep farming if you did not already reach level 100. Mercantile had one of the least developed farming strategies of any skill in the original video. The entire strategy was to dupe scrolls into large stacks and manually sell items one by one, since transactions give the same amount of XP regardless of item value or quantity. 2 commenters suggested improvements to the strategy that made the skill grind at least able to be more efficient and, more importantly, automatable. Even though the strategy has improved, I still recommend buying training for this skill since it takes 25,000 total transactions, which takes forever no matter what strategy you use. The main ideas for this new strat came from commenter Monophthalmos, who suggested that PC users can play the game in the 4:3 aspect ratio to make the UI for confirming a sale overlap with selecting the item itself, and mentioned that selling items in stacks of 1 or 2 will skip the pop-up where you have to move the slider. The aspect ratio idea is very clever, and as you can see here, it works great when your mouse is in the right position. If you don't want to have to play in a different aspect ratio just to grind skills, an alternative I found was that you can hit the up arrow key and press enter to select the top item in your inventory to sell, and then from there, you can just mash the enter key and keep selling the top item repeatedly. The concept of selling items in much smaller stacks was further improved by Dr. Zaius 3141, who mentioned that there are a large variety of alchemical ingredients in the game, and that by going into a shop and buying them all up, you can quickly gain a sizable inventory of items that are in stacks of 2 for spamming sales with. I was inspired by this idea and found another optimization using the new armorer strategy mentioned in the previous section, but it requires you to be at least level 75 in the armorer skill. Go into any store that sells armor and shields, in this case the best defense in the Imperial City Market District, and buy the worst light armor shield that you can. Use scrolls to dupe the shield as many times as you want so that you have one giant stack of shields. Dupe and use repair hammers to repair all of the shields in the stack from 100 health to 125 health. You'll get one shield repaired per click, and this will separate all of the shields conveniently into stacks of 2. Now, use either the up arrow and enter, or the aspect ratio trick to spam sell all of the shields. Fair warning, having massive quantities of items in separate stacks can result in unusual inventory issues sometimes, so just make sure picking up and dropping items behaves normally after doing this skill grind. To learn how to dupe, see the section about the dupe glitch in the original skill grind video. Thanks again to everyone who contributed ideas that made it into this video. I've had a lot of fun reading and learning about new tricks from all of your comments. If you have further improvements that weren't mentioned in this video or in the original skill grind video, post a comment below. If you liked this video, we have tons of other Oblivion videos about all kinds of stuff, including new glitches we've found and other world record speedruns. In addition to our YouTube channel, we've been streaming Oblivion 100% speedrun routing over on our Twitch channel, and we'll be doing a world record attempt for the 3rd version of our Oblivion 100% completion speedrun very soon. If you're interested, subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified when we post our announcement video with further details about the time and day of the run, and follow us on Twitch to see when the run goes live. Thank you.